Hi and welcome. In this video, we will be learning the basics of HTML5. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself. You can call me RMC. For this HTML learning series, we will cover 3 chapters. In this first chapter of the HTML learning video series, we will start with the basic overview and concepts of HTML. We will learn the HTML's origin, and then we will dive into the HTML syntax to better visualize the HTML structure. In this first chapter, we will cover what is HTML, where it all began, what HTML can do and can't do, where to code HTML, and the basic HTML elements. Without further ado, let's get started. What is HTML? HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language, is the standard language used to create and design web pages. It's not a programming language, it's a markup language, which means it tells the browser what to present to the users. It is like telling the browser, hey, this is a heading, this is a paragraph, this part should be bold, here's a link to another page, and show this image here. Where it all began. HTML was invented by Tim Berners-Lee as a way to structure documents on the early World Wide Web. He was working on a way for researchers around the world to easily access and link documents. He came up with the idea, and HTML was the language that made it all possible. HTML 1.0 was released in 1991. It was very basic, and it was the first formal version released, with only a handful of tags. And then HTML 0.0 was released in 1995. It becomes the standardized version. And then in 1999, HTML 4.0, which is a widely used version, and it became an official standard. In 2000, XHTML, a stricter version of HTML XML, was released. And then the latest version, which is HTML5, was released in 2014, which brings significant advancements like improved media support and semantic elements. What HTML can do and cannot do. HTML can do structure a web page, like create headings, paragraphs, lists, add images, videos, audio, and then make tables and forms, create links and buttons, or use semantic tags to give meaning to content like article, nav, and footer. HTML can do link things together, like link one page to another using a tag, and then embed content like YouTube videos or Google Maps. HTML can do work with other technologies, like it integrates with CSS for styling, and it works with JavaScript to add interactivity. It also can include metadata for search engine optimization, social media, and many more. What HTML cannot do alone? First, it cannot add interactivity like click events, animations, or form validation because it requires JavaScript code. Second, styling or layout the page nicely because it needs CSS or cascading style sheet. HTML cannot do alone connecting to a database or handle user input on a server because it requires back-end programming language such as PHP, Python, Node.js, and many more. HTML cannot do alone perform logic or calculations, or even control file uploads or downloads securely. It also cannot do alone of building mobile or desktop apps directly, or even play complex media or games because HTML supports some media but not advanced logic without JavaScript. And then lastly, HTML cannot do alone protecting content from being viewed or copied because HTML is open source by nature. Where to code HTML? Here are some awesome tools that you can use to write and test HTML code. Basically, you can code using Notepad or any text editor. You just need it to save as .html, then you can actually open or run it using the browser of your choice. You can download Notepad++, Sublime Text, Atom, VS Code or Visual Studio Code with live server plugin, and actually it is too many to mention. There are also an option to use online editors like CodePen, JS Fiddle, Replit, PlayCode, and so much more. Here are the HTML basic elements. Doctype HTML. It tells the browser this is an HTML5 document and it always goes at the top of every page. HTML tag is the root element that wraps the entire HTML document. Then, head. It contains the meta information. It is not shown on the page, like the title, links to CSS, JavaScript, etc. Then, title. It sets the title of the page, which is shown in the browser tab. And then, the body. It contains everything visible on the web page, like text, images, videos, and many more. And then we have H1 to H6. It is the headings. H1 is the biggest, and then H6 is the smallest. It is used to structure your content. P tag is the paragraph used for blocks of text. Then we have A with an attribute of href. It is an anchor tag, creates hyperlink to another page or site. For images, we can just use image tag with an attribute of src or source. It displays an image and we can put src or source and alt text for accessibility. Then we have ul for unordered list, ol for ordered list, and then inside of ul or ol we will put li or the list item. We also have br or line break. It adds a new line in the text and it's self-closing HTML tag. We also have hr or horizontal rule. It adds horizontal line like a divider. It is also a self-closing. Div. It's a generic container. It is used for grouping content or applying CSS styles. Span. It's an inline container. It's somewhat similar to div but for small parts of text. Then we have input. It is used in forms to get user inputs. Input types include text, checkbox, radio, and many more. Form. It defines an HTML form to collect user input. Then we have button. It is a clickable button that can be used to submit forms or trigger JavaScript. We also have strong, which makes the text bold, and em or emphasize. It makes the text italic. Putting it all together. In this chapter, we learned what is HTML or Hypertext Markup Language, where it all began, what HTML can do and cannot do, where to code HTML, and the basic HTML elements. Before we end this video, we will have a fun little HTML quiz plus practice exercise to test what you've learned. There is no pressure. This is a beginner friendly and designed to help you remember the basics. You can comment down your answers. For our first question, what is the meaning of HTML? For our second question, which tag creates a hyperlink? Third question, What tag would you use to add an image? Fourth question, which heading tag gives you the biggest heading? Our fifth and last question, what does this code do? If you like what you learn or watch, please give this video a like, and if you want to learn more, please subscribe to my channel. Also, you can share it to your friends, classmates, or colleagues. See you on the next video.